Okay, there we go. We have Monique joining here. All right, chat, we're ready. Monique,
Hi,
what's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing great, buddy. How are you?
Good, good. And is Monique how you pronounce your name?
It's Manik.
Manic. Okay, awesome. Chat, we have
Yeah,
we have Monique here. Monique, if you want to give just a brief backstory on who you are, what you're trying to do here, we're gonna do a quick live today, everyone. We're in the middle of this is my lunch break for work here, so we got
uh,
Monique here. Monique, if you want to just give us a backstory, let's do it.
sure. Firstly, I would like to thank you so much that you shifted it a backtrack for me, especially you do it at 3 live according to your time zone. It's been really awesome that you arranged all this for me. So I come from India. I hail from India, and I'm quite motivated by technology and latest and greatest in the tech world. What I'm doing about with my life, my journey, and like comedy aspects, stand up, and other things. These are the main things which excites me. And most of the people say when you start the content creation journey, you should be deciding your niche firstly, that what you're good at,
Mm-hmm.
and that has been a very confusing thing for me particularly. In the very beginning I was not able to decide that what I am good at, so I
Mm-hmm.
kept on experimenting about various things,
Mm-hmm.
and luckily all three formats work for me. Like when I upload a comedy reel, it somehow blew up. When I uploaded and it didn't happen for the very first reel. It was around 20, 30 comedy related reels, and one of it blew up. Then I started experimenting with tech content as well. And around after 30, 40 tech content, some got viral. Then I came about life advices, my life experiences kind of content, and even something in that kind of just also worked. So I one thing I want to share is that when I started my journey, I was at around like 3 months ago. I started content creation, and I was always good at public speaking, handling stages, and other thing kind of things. And India, I don't know if you know that, Sean. English is also a very language which we usually utilize and we speak. Apart from my native language, we talk in English and speak in English as well. So these are the kind of the things which started hanging upon for my page. And when I started hitting these views and started getting these followers, I was very confused in that part, that now which part should I take. And then somehow I discovered your page, and what were you trying to do, and trying to experiment with all these things, that how to grow, how not to grow on that part. So I really liked it. And one thing which is very common in between both of us is that I have been just behind you, following your follower track and other kind of the things similarly to your page. Like you have been going faster in those particular aspects because you have been learning at a faster pace. I'm currently doing my PhD in management only. I have done my MBA. So it is all about me, that I am trying to make sense out of life and trying to share my story apart. But I am very confused that how should I take this path forward, and that's why I'm here on the live stream today, because I found that kind of hope in Sean's wordings, in his reels, in his content, that he can help me out.
Awesome, man. Thank you. I muted my mic just so you can talk. I appreciate the
Yeah,
all the kind words, Monic. That means a lot, man.
yeah,
And I really appreciate those words about finding hope in my page. That is a particularly significant
yeah,
compliment, man. So I appreciate that. That's the whole goal with this. So I wrote down a couple things while you were talking, Monic. I'm just gonna repeat it back to you.
yeah,
The first thing that you mentioned was like I've always been confused by this idea of picking a niche. And
yeah,
let me send this to you as well. I'll send this to you. I'm gonna work on this while we talk here,
yeah,
and it's just a Google Doc with some ideas of experiments to try here. So I'm sending it to your, just send it to your DMs. Here are my notes that I've picked up on so far. You said I'm confused on how to pick a niche. You mentioned that you've always thought that it's just like basically posting about what you think you're good at. What would you say that
yeah.
you're particularly good at? It seems like like you know a lot about tech,
Yeah.
comedy as well. Like, give me a rundown on what you think you're good at here.
Like, see, I've been an I've been an extrovert my whole life, and what I know about my life is around if someone is around me, those people I can share it randomly mostly. I write poems, I write a lot of things. So I enjoy all these bits, but like most of the creators, they decide onto one thing they know that they are very good at.
Okay.
So I'm not a like I can I'm not a jack of what they say in the cards. No, you are not. I'm not a master of one, but like I'm all I can do all these things
Sure.
somewhat good.
Sure.
So I like to talk about life sometimes for content creation. You might not be able to understand a lot of things because my most of the reels are in my native language, Hindi.
Hmm.
I try to make the content in, but my some carousel post, if you scroll down, those are in English purely because the audience in India, they try to understand both of these aspects, both of these languages. So that is how we try to grow up the page up here. Upper two carousels, if you can see that. Yeah,
Understood.
latest one
Okay.
that we uploaded. Yeah,
Hmm.
and one about so there is something that even I am not able to find one thing in particular, and it might sound a bit, what to say, bragging about it or something like that. But I think I can do mostly all these things which I'm trying to do up here.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah.
So one thing right away that's been helpful for me, and this is particularly the reason why I started this page, is because I wouldn't consider myself. I would say I'm maybe above average at content, but I would definitely
Mhm.
not consider myself to be an expert at content. That's why I started this page, is to document my journey to become one. And so
Yeah.
I believe, and so far, my mindset, I guess, has been rewarded through you guys, the chat, as well as you, Monik, saying that you found hope in my
Yeah.
page.
Yeah.
I believe that you don't necessarily need to be good. Well, first off, let me just say a blanket belief that I have, that I believe that there's no rules
Mhm.
at all, really. I don't think that you have to be good at something in order to post about it. For example, my page, again, I'm documenting the journey to become great. Now, if I'm starting off, I would say, pretty good, but you could even start off as a beginner documenting your journey. So I don't think when people say picking a niche, a lot of the advice, I know it stems from like what you have the most experience with, but the one piece of advice that has always stuck with me, and has been the most helpful, has been, what is the one thing that you can't stop thinking about?
Mhm.
That to me has been my North Star with picking a niche, is what is the one thing that I think about more than anything else throughout every single day of my life, which is content. Um, Specifically content strategy. I'm always trying to think, like, when I'm watching videos, how did they construct this? How did they come up with this idea? Because like you see all these people who are making boatloads of money, and they're having these videos basically be like a hit after hit. They're just always blowing up, and I'm like, how do these people do it? I've been fascinated with that idea since I was like 12. So me picking a niche came uh, quite naturally for me because of what I was super interested in. Before I made this page about content, I had a comedy page, specifically just videos about comedy. And then before that, or after that, I had a page specifically dedicated to self improvement. And so every
Mhm.
time that I've made a page, uh, it's always been basically like a time capsule of a period of my life where I'm just super obsessed with one topic. And so when I had a comedy page, it was because all I would consume and think about were like memes and funny videos. When I had a self improvement page, it was the same idea. Now with content, it's the same idea every single day. When I'm done with these live streams, when I'm done with my full time job, I then
Mhm.
study content religiously. I create content like no other, so I can constantly learn. So before we get into how I can offer any assistance for you, I think that baseline might be a helpful belief for you, is figuring out, and that could be our first experiment here. What topic, and I'll share my screen here so you can see what I'm doing. Give me
Sure.
1 second. Our first experiment for you, Manik, could be, what topic can you not stop thinking about?
Does it has to be a topic per se? Because like if I know, like when I heard you, you used a word that you can't stop thinking about content religiously, and religiously is a like very big word to describe a niche or particular say. And when I think of that in my case scenario, I believe it is something that yapping whatever I am feeling. That is what kind of defines me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have been that kind of a person. If I've got a thought about technology, if I've got a, if I've got an opinion or a view about something, I have
Mm-hmm.
to say it out loud.
Mm-hmm.
I can't keep it, I can contain it. So that can be one thing that I can't stop thinking about, I say.
Mm-hmm.
That I have to speak it out. That I
So
have to put, I like putting my views, my way of the story towards anything which is going across my life, my day, my view.
mm-hmm.
So that is something like even I'm not that clear and I'm no expert by any means as well. I'm learning here, but I think maybe you can make something out of it.
Sure. Yeah, so we have a couple different exercises here. Hold on one second. I'm
Sure.
getting some messages here. Okay. So we have a couple different exercises that we can go through. Um, so, first off, you have in your bio life, technology, comedy, right? These are the three. By the way, I don't think that these need to be three separate categories, similar to what we described yesterday with, or discussed yesterday rather, with Josh. I
Mhm.
think all of these could blend into one core theme once we do a little bit of digging here. So let me rephrase the question a little bit, and let's start off with just tell us a little bit about yourself, Manik. What are the things, if I were to look at your YouTube homepage right now, what are the
Mhm.
videos that are going to be recommended on your YouTube homepage? What videos do you just always watch?
Okay. So those videos are mostly related to technology.
Okay.
Okay, tech related reels, MKBHD, Marcus Brownlee. I don't know if you've heard of that creator. He's a very big one from your US side.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about tech, it's about cars, it's about what to say. Even I've kept my watch history off particularly, so I have to think about it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not tracking that. So tech videos, cars. It's about philosophers,
Mm-hmm.
life experiences, storylines, and it's about religion.
Okay.
Uh, it's it's about being empathetic, like how to be more empathetic in life, and how people, you know, like I'm a very emotional person somehow. If I don't know that's point of sharing or not that,
Mm-hmm.
but I look out of the self-help kind of content, something like that as well,
Mm-hmm.
and comedy also. Like it's getting into everything right now, man.
Sure. That's totally fine, man. Is there
Yeah.
out of these videos here, or out of these different categories here, as you go throughout your day, is there something in particular that you think about quite often? Like, for example, like let's take today for example. Walk me through how your day started. What did you do
Okay.
when you woke up, and then walk me through everything that
Mhm.
you've done up until this point, as well as if you can recall some thoughts that you might have had today.
Okay, for sure. So I woke up at 8 today in the morning. So I have to take some classes as well because I'm doing PhD and I teach MBA students some marketing related classes and other things as well. So I got ready and I left for my particular job or my college. There on the way, I was listening to some songs and something like that. Hadn't been thinking that much. It's just a 15-minute commute. So I reached to the place. I took some classes. I was there, and the thoughts I had today was what I'm trying to do with my life mostly. And because I'm doing my PhD, but I'm more interested in content somehow, content creation, because I've been always wanting to let the world know what I've got, what I
What
can deliver
what are
and share.
you getting your PhD in?
I'm doing in management.
Management. Okay.
Yeah.
Specific. Can you help me understand a little bit more about what management refers to, like just business management?
Yeah, yeah, business management.
Okay.
Because I have done my MBA in HR, human resources,
Okay.
and I'm doing my PhD in general in that it's in business management, but my subtopic or my topic for the PhD is in HR particularly.
So first off, Minik, before I speak any further,
Mhm.
are we going down a relevant rabbit hole for you? Like did is this your number one question that you have about picking a niche? Like I don't if you have other questions,
Mhm.
I don't want to get too deep into this and you think like,
Indeed.
"Oh, I wanted to talk about something else."
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. Because we're going through the right, like we're going down the right path right now. I just want to make sure I make the best use of your time here. So
Sure.
before we even continue, what's interesting here is that going back to what you said about like picking a niche around what you're good at, based on what you've told me so far, it seems painfully obvious by that logic that you just said about like you have to make a pick a niche by what you're good at. I I'm curious as to why you didn't mention business management when you have like up here with the things that you are always thinking about or what are on your homepage for YouTube, because you are more experienced than 99% of people in business management from a collegiate or from a academic standpoint. You know, 99% of
Indeed.
people do not have a PhD in business management. I know you're in the process of getting one, and 99% of people don't have an MBA in human resources, which also, you know, is kind of like a subtopic of business management. I'm curious why these have not been mentioned here. Are you? And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, by the way. I'm just saying
Sure.
like this is like a helpful exercise for you to walk through, and this might be helpful for you, chat, everyone in the chat too. This is why I think that like the niche that you choose should be the one that you can't stop thinking about, because Manic here is the most experienced out of all of us when it comes to business management, and yet it's not something that he's thinking about all the time, which is a that's good that you're not making content about business management if you're not thinking about it all the time. So,
Sure.
but yeah, walk me through that, Manic. What if you can just explain a little bit, like why aren't these up here? Do you not think about it too much?
Yeah. So, see, the first thing is that when I started into this field of MBA HR, my experience, after the graduation, when I joined my MBA,
Mm-hmm.
so I was not that kind of a personality who was like much ready for the business field where it has the cutthroat competition and you have to be, you know, you have to keep your emotional aspect very aside. So when I got into my MBA, I discovered a very different, a very new world for me, and it was something that I was not able to digest very well. That how the things go on. Like the corporate was one of those things which I loved and thought of before I joined my MBA, and it was one of those things which I kept more and more, started more and more deviating from when I completed my MBA.
Okay.
And even during that time of my MBA, all these things, even these parts of the HR and other aspects, more of the field that the application of these particular topics or HR or doing a job, the thing which interested me more is to dig deeper that what the field has to offer, is to put on a research kind of an aspect.
Mm-hmm.
All these topics which I mentioned, like the life, the technology, the comedy aspect, I don't do these topics because I enjoy those. I do these topics because I like digging deep into them. These
So
topics related to MBA, like life, I keep like most of the time in my day I spend thinking deeply about life, that how it is associated, how the circle comes to it. Same
mm-hmm.
goes for these particular topics. The particular business management aspect. See, even for my PhD, I'm trying to link these all the content creation aspects and the agencies and the companies which are hiring, and how the modern day HR and these two topics can be interrelated. Because I'm very much interested into content creation, and PhD is something which I'm trying to get integrated with this thought of mine being doing the content creation part. So I'm trying to frame my topic around this content creation aspect, more of
Nice.
that, this what I've got around content creation. I am thinking that you're getting it right or not, but it is other way around. instead of thinking about PhD and these as my main topic, I am trying to integrate life, technology, and comedy into my PhD. More
Perfect.
of.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
by the way, like, there's no right or wrong answer here, or like no trick questions that I'm asking you. The reason why I asked that is because I, and again, like, I don't ask that with any sort of like agenda other than understanding. And
Sure, sure.
I I think it's really like it's really insightful for me that what you are most credentialed in is not something that you're constantly thinking about. Like, you're not constantly thinking about business management or human resources, which is a good thing because if we can if we can start to eliminate the negatives or the things that we're not thinking about, it can get us closer to the things that we're always thinking about. And for chat, in case I haven't explained it, the reason why this is kind of my central, like my North Star when it comes to picking a niche, this question, is because if there's something that you are always learning about, digging deeper in, as Manik said, if there's always something that you are trying to like improve at or just constantly thinking about, it will become almost like second nature to make content consistently for years on end. But if it's something that you're making content on because you're good at, but you don't really like care about it that much, content creation is going to become like a chore. Why do I say that? And I could say that kind of definitively is because before this account, I've had multiple other pages that I've grown that I've hated and deleted because I was
Mhm.
talking about things like I mentioned. I had a comedy page that I grew to just under 100,000 followers. I had a self-improvement page that I grew to 25,000 followers. Both those topics I was interested in, but they were not things that I constantly was thinking about for years on end. It wasn't something that like I am just always obsessed with. If you look at, for example, like Alex Hermosi, he is super credentialed in business, but also he cannot stop thinking about business. 99% of his day is thinking about business. And so it's like second nature. 450 pieces of content a week because he's always talking about business. If you're making content around a topic that you're not constantly talking about or you're not constantly thinking about, then it just becomes performative where like you have to sit down, allocate time out of each day to talk about something that really doesn't occupy too much of your brain. And so I'm not saying that to Monik, I'm saying that to the chat, by the way. Monik,
Yeah.
this is why
Sean,
like this thought process has been so helpful for me because I literally yap to you guys for hours on end about content because it's all I talk about. When you guys aren't
in,
here on the live, I'm sending Google chats to my buddy Tiago, and we spend 8 hours a day talking about content. And then I'm in the DMs talking to him and my buddy Josh about content 8 hours a day, every day for the past 5 or 6 years. So it's like second nature. But anyways, continue, Monik.
yeah, one thing, Sean, I want to share with you, and I would like to have your view on this particular topic. I don't know if it's related or not. So, when I started making content, I created some tech-related reels where I was telling about the phones and how the specs are, and I created some reels around life, that how life should go.
Yep.
So, on my life-related reels, I was getting around 2,000 views, 3,000 views per se max. But my technology reels, they were blowing up,
Okay.
and like I was getting some good views on those.
Mm-hmm.
If you can see, like this latest reel I've uploaded today, the
Yep.
third one after the two pin, not this one. These are the two pin ones. The third one with the OnePlus phone. So this one has already got 5,000 views somehow.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so these kind of content, like these kind of content were blowing up. And just before this content, I've uploaded a life related reel where I was explaining a story of a cat and something like that. Not this one. This is also pinned one.
This
If
one.
we'll go down, yes, this one. This is a story of a cat and a rich person. This is what I feel very passionate about. I was trying to explain a concept
Okay.
of life somehow.
Okay.
But these kind of reels, these just doesn't perform. You can see that in the
Sure.
very particular aspect.
Sure.
So what happened is that, Sean, when my tech reel blew up, I was like, I felt this pressure on the very next day because I was seeing a growth. I was seeing a lot of follower inflow that I have to create this somehow, but
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want it to create much more tech reel because those are the reels which perform. I have this mindset that I know it will perform.
Yep.
Uh, and for the life kind of content, my heart says that I want to create it, but I know it won't perform. So what happened is
Mm.
that for a lot of my life kind of content, a lot of my commenters from the tech reels, they come and flow over to the comment section of these kind of reels, and they ask, sir, which kind of laptop should I buy, which phone should I go,
Yeah,
and
yeah, 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 yeah. They're
that
like,
kind of
wait a second,
influence.
what about the One Plus? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So there is a lot of overlap going on, but even I feel like answering them on those aspects as well. But I kind of enjoy these all aspects. Like I'm creating 7 to 8 life reels, and then instantly I feel like I want to create a tech reel. I feel so passionate about something which happened in
Sure,
the tech world, and I have to share that.
sure.
So those kind of things comes up to me, and somehow comedy also happens. So I'm in myself, I'm such a cocktail of emotions that I'm
Yep.
not able to decide onto a certain niche that what I have to do or what I don't want to do.
Yeah,
That this really is open right now, it's something related to the society and how the woman should be treated and something like that.
yeah.
And this really just underperformed like hugely.
Sure,
But another reel on smartphone and other things, and even some companies started reaching me out, smartphone brands.
of
Like
course.
even if you see my editing, and I don't know much of editing. It's the mere basic one which
Sure.
some can do, but something I speak of it is so passionate. I think that people can see that and reflect that, because some people reached me out and they are trusting me with so many suggestions on mobile phones and other things.
Love it.
And when I speak of life, there are some people who also trust me and see that kind of aspect in me.
Sure,
Uh, in my daily life, like if I do it, not on the Instagram, it's not working, but I've been doing a lot of life related aspect as well. So that is the kind of the thing which pressurizes me. Like right now, you said that if you don't love what you do, it will become another core for you, daily wala aspect. So that happened with the tech content somehow a day before, and today I have willingly uploaded that tech reel of OnePlus because I knew, and it is just a reel which I made out of a carousel which I uploaded just before that,
yep.
because carousel was working on the tech aspect as well. So that's how my journey has been so far, and I don't know where to take it forward from here. And just I wanted to share that with you, that
Sure,
when you see this cocktail of things going on up here,
sure.
and if that makes some sense to you, because that doesn't make any sense to me per se.
So I'll give you some experiments here because this is one. These are a couple experiments that I've done in the past. There was a time where
Yeah.
I was growing my comedy page and my self improvement page at the exact same time, and then I made another comedy page and I was growing.
One fear I've got in my mind, like after speaking to you, I don't want you to eliminate any of it somehow. I just wanted to
Oh,
share that,
yeah, yeah, of course. So I
because
want.
I feel like very passionate about these things at particular point of time.
Sure.
And some people even suggested me that you can do different pages for different things. And I don't feel like putting in that much effort for that, say. And some even, newer friends, because it's a very new thing in my friend circle. I am the only one who somehow got this. Some of my friends have been trying for years, but they are not able to get such a huge amount of followers in like 1 or 2 months. Even
Sure.
I was shocked at how I got such followers. I never believed in myself for getting these kind of aspects.
Yep.
But it's something which has been working for me, and I don't think that I've got the bandwidth and time to grow 3 different pages or channels. And even some of my friends have shared with me that if you'll post such a cocktail of content, you will confuse the algorithm or some things. But even I don't know what to do and how to do it differently.
Sure.
But I feel like doing it all.
So, I mean, the first thing that I'll say is I don't, me personally, obviously, like you guys know this, I'll always qualify everything I'm going to say by saying I'm not an expert, but it's a very hard, uh, it's very hard to convince me when people blame the algorithm for certain things. If people say, like, posting a mixture of content will confuse the algorithm, that to me, like that sentence doesn't make a lot of sense. If you replace the word algorithm with audience, that makes more sense. If you if you post a cocktail of content, then someone that follows you will be confused. That makes more sense. But the algorithm, I don't think you posting a variety of different topics is going to affect your reach or how much people comment. At the end of the day, how well your content is, aka does it invite people to create a conversation, will determine how well performance wise it does. It sounds like you are having a conundrum though, where you are, and I'm not blaming this on you. Like this is something that I deal with personally, as well as everyone else in the chat deals with this. And whether the chat is willing to admit it or not, everyone deals with this, is that when videos do really well, we get a spike of dopamine, and we're like, oh wow, that feels good. People engage with my stuff. When videos don't do as well, it sucks. I don't know if I want to keep making this, right? And
Sure.
the problem that I'm seeing with this conundrum that you're in, take it for what it's worth. Again, I've been in your spot. I've had a couple different solutions to this, and I'll give you some of my thoughts. But obviously, it's there's first off, there's no rules. You can do whatever you want. But first things first, I would try to do some sort of experiment here where, I mean, my first suggestion to you was to create another page. I know you mentioned like, hey, that's a lot of work, but try an experiment somehow. You could even do this. You have access to trial reels now. Try an
Yeah.
experiment where you spend 30 days talking just about one thing and see how you feel after that. That could be on trial reels. That could be on your page here, or that could be
Yeah.
on another page. For example, like the majority of your reels are tech related. For the most part, you have a couple that are about life and comedy, but for the vast majority, I mean, you're saying like brands are reaching out for tech. People are commenting
Yeah.
on other reels for tech. My experiment for you, because this is an experiment that I've done for myself, is try spending 30 days talking about one topic and evaluate how you feel after that. If you spend 30 days talking about tech and you want to absolutely like die, then that's probably a sign that you shouldn't be making so much content about tech for a long period of time. If like 30 days sounds like, even when I say that to you as an experiment, if in your head you're like, oh, that sounds like kind of a crazy timeline, that's your brain giving you a signal that, hey, this isn't something that I should like have my whole page be around if I can't continue to make that. And if people are reaching out to you, like if brands are reaching out to you about tech, if people are reaching out to you about tech, and I'm saying, like, I'm giving you this experiment saying spend 30 days talking about tech again, and that thought is overwhelming, that should be your first sign that, like, okay, maybe I do need to switch gears and start talking, instead of tech, start talking about philosophy more. Now, one thing that has helped me, and I'll walk through you guys, like I'll walk you through how I think about this, is that just because you have different interests doesn't mean that they all need to be on separate pages. One thing that I've been doing recently is like, how can I infuse all of my different interests into one core theme? For example, like my theme on my page is, or you can consider it niche or whatever, but like my niche is content creation, but I'm also interested in philosophy. I'm also interested in tech. I'm also interested in like streaming. I'm interested in a whole bunch of different things, skateboarding, blah, 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 blah. And if you go to my page, I have infused all of those different interests. I have a reel about even skateboarding and how it relates to content. I have a video about streaming and how it relates to content. I have a video about philosophy, how it relates to content. And that could be something that you could do if you have this page centered around tech. But again, I mean, the main pillar should be something that you just absolutely cannot stop thinking about. So you might want to reevaluate the foundation that this page is on. But having all these different interests that you want to talk about relate to one core foundation or theme of the page. So if the core theme of the page is life, you think I can speak about personal development or philosophy or whatever for the next 7 years, then how can I infuse all my interests of tech and blah, 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 blah into this core pillar? So it doesn't necessarily mean like you have to have 7 different pages. But again, like one thing that I do, and this is the problem, chat, when people, like when you hear advice from people saying like you need to niche down or be the niche, the problem is like these are 2 different pieces of suggestions for people that are at different levels of the content journey. That's why I always talk about levels of content creation. Okay. And so for someone that's just starting out, my highest recommendation, same one that I did, is think to myself, what is something that I can speak about for years? Because it might take me multiple years for me to get to whatever goal I have set for myself. How can I speak about that every day for years and not feel like how Monica's feeling, where I'm like, I'm feeling very burnt out and overwhelmed. And then from there, I have reels like this one's about streaming. So similar to content creation, like it's a parallel, but it's not content strategy. This one's me infusing streaming. This one's me infusing my love for soccer. I talk about the World Cup and I bring it into content creation. This one's about the World Cup again. This one is too. These are all about soccer. I like soccer and I tie it to content creation as like the core pillar. This one's about AI because I do like AI and tech and all that stuff, and I bring it into content. This one right here is about skateboarding and I bring it into content, right? And so there's ways that you can infuse your interests and align it with one core theme for the page so people understand like what they're coming to. Now, I have seen in my case that there is some truth to what people are saying about like when you are first growing, you know, and when people hit the follow button, a lot of times they are expecting more of what they hit follow for. So if someone sees a reel, this has been the case when I'm talking to people in the chat, and chat, let me know if this is how you behave as well. This is why I do these lives too. I can get live market research. Chat, give me some of the reasons why you hit follow when you watch a video. And let me know, just say yes or no. Is one of the reasons why you hit follow because you're expecting more of what you liked from the creator? If you guys say yes, then Manic, just keep that in mind. If the next video you post is a tech video and you get a ton of follows from it, a lot of those follows might be because people are expecting more tech stuff, right? And so there's definitely some truth to that claim of like you post a cocktail of different categories of content, then someone might follow you for tech, they watch a video about philosophy and now they're confused. Like that I understand, but that doesn't mean that you can't infuse all of these interests to one core theme. For example, how does what is like the consumer behavior like for this new topic of OnePlus? That's me infusing philosophy or psychology rather with tech, right? Or what does this new what does the new phone update say about how people are consuming entertainment? You know, like this is me now taking the topic of tech and looking at more of the psychological aspect of it. And if you want to get like another layer deeper with like personal development, how does this new gaming laptop, how does this tie into the personal development of like young teens, right? How does this gaming laptop affect someone who is trying to, I don't know, become better in XYZ aspect of their life? And so there's definitely ways that you can cross the bridge between your multiple interests. But it sounds like if you already are acknowledging that you're on shaky foundation, that might be something to reevaluate. And because you're at 7,500 followers, like I get that people know you for tech, and I get that brands are reaching out to you. But the way that I see it, and I'm not saying this, I'm not going to give you a blanket statement as like this is the absolute truth. But when we think about all of our options, right? Like let's just think through all of our different options here together. One option is you have a separate page for life or comedy or whatever, and you could just do one page for life, one page for tech. That's one option. Okay, and then what I would do is we could even do like a pro-con list. Let's actually just do that as our experiment here. Let's do the pros and cons of this. You have some time, Manic? I have a few more minutes here that I can
No
do.
worries. All
right, let's do a pros and cons. I think this might be better than me just like giving you a monologue here. So let's go here. What are our options? Okay. Option 1. 2 different pages. One for tech, one for life. What are the pros of this? The pros would be when someone hits follow on my tech page, they get more tech content when they watch more. Why is that a good thing? That can be a good thing because people will then start to binge your content, and from there they might go from a viewer to a follower to a fan, and then if you ever decide to sell something, they might become a buyer, right? That's why, and this all happens because they binge your content. Okay, now what are the cons of doing this? And so Monica, I'm going to give you the floor because you've already gone through some of this in your head already. What are the cons of doing 2 different pages?
Firstly, is that I think I won't be able to create so many reels. Like I post 7 reels a week right now, every day. Like I've given me a challenge of 365 days for the content creation, where I'll upload one single reel every day. And for Instagram, it's very competitive, people say, and even I think so, because if I'm uploading reels every day, I somehow get consistent views, while views aspect. I don't know if it's a myth or something, but if there is a gap in between, like India is a country of 1.4 billion people, and everyone is content creator here in this modern time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and if we put a gap, like if you're posting twice or thrice a week, it somehow gets pushed really down the funnel.
Yep.
The market, the game is very competitive up here. So if I'll do 2 different pages, I won't be able to manage, putting emphasis on both the pages, and it would somehow be able to jeopardize the growth of both the pages, I believe.
Okay.
On that.
Okay, and you said that basically algorithm rewards consistency. If I'm not consistent on one page,
Yep.
it can damage it. Okay, anything else?
This is all I can think of right now, I guess.
Okay. This might be a helpful exercise for everyone here in the chat, because I know this is a common question. Okay, so we have our pros and cons. Okay, so this is option 1. Okay, and there's a couple different options here. And sorry, everything's here. Let me see. Everything's in bold. So this is kind of irritating me. Hold on. There we go. Let me move this out of bold. And let me keep this bold. Cool. All right, option 1. How are we doing on time? We're doing okay. Okay. Option 2 is to just post basically all of these themes on one page. Okay? And now let's go through what are the pros and cons of this. So what are the pros of doing this? One of the pros is that you can maintain consistency.
Indeed.
Right? Any other pros? You don't feel like burning out? Maybe?
Indeed.
Anything else?
Yes, like it comes into the burning down aspect. Like I don't have to allocate so much time onto thinking about different content for different pages. Yeah.
All right. And now what are the cons of this approach? What are the cons?
Followers might get confused.
Okay. And
yeah.
What's the problem with followers getting confused?
They might not turn into paying customers someday.
Okay.
Yeah, if I try to sell something, because they might be so confused that what is the actual thing that the person is trying to provide, they might not be able to comprehend it. But from my experience of marketing, I believe somehow that I'll be able to convince those people, because this tech, comedy, and life thing, which I have thought of after so much thinking about this page, I've been trying to push it like my tagline in every reel, in every post. So after when I complete my every reel, in the last 3 seconds, I say like, do follow for more content on tech, comedy, and life, because I want to convey them upfront that don't come to me if you don't only want to see tech content. Come to me if you want a cocktail of these. Because when I jumbled up around my head, I was able to find these things sitting around everywhere. Like everything I thought of had a little bit crisp, a little bit topping of these three main core topics. So that can be the thing as well.
Okay. Anything else here on the pros and cons?
Mm, anything you can think of?
I think we're pretty much good here. Let's go to our next option. And I'm not
Yeah.
gonna like chat, just so you know, like we're doing this exercise. I'm gonna give my opinions, but by no means, like you guys see, I'm sitting here at 8,000 followers. Like
Yeah.
I don't have all the answers here to all this stuff, but I'll just give
Indeed.
you, these are exercises that like I go through in order to figure stuff out. If it's helpful, then chat. Like I'm happy to send this document over. But okay, option 3 is to post mostly of the same theme plus other I guess interests occasionally. Okay, this would basically be, instead of like splitting the page 33 33 33, this is you like mostly talking about tech, and then every now and then you talk about life, every now and then you talk about comedy. So like the page overall has pretty consistent theme. Are there any pros and cons to this here?
I think this is where I'm headed somehow. Because when you wrote this option particularly, this is what I was doing intentionally or unintentionally.
Okay.
Is that mostly I try to create tech reels because I know that is going to get me some growth. But live content is kind of an energy booster for me. That
Okay.
is which keeps me going somehow. Because when I created tech content, I started creating it because it was getting me views. So I created it 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, fourth day. I was not feeling like creating another tech content. I was like, I want to talk about something else.
Okay.
So I think this third option is the one which is most of a fit for me right now. It got a pro that I feel energized for creating content. Uh, that can be one pro. Is that I do not burn out easily. Yeah.
Anything else?
Mm, what can I say?
It doesn't have.
One pattern,
Yeah.
one pattern you can analyze here somehow is that most of my pros are mostly related to me somehow.
Yep.
A lot of experts are, they think about delivering value to others
Yep.
when they think about, and that is not the part I've been thinking much a lot about of it. When you jotted down all these options, now I'm opening my mind to that aspect as well.
That's
That what should I deliver?
this is part of the reason why I'm doing this exercise, is because like
Yeah,
the I might not have the answers, but just by me asking questions, the answers will start to kind of like show light. So like I'm already noticing some patterns too in just some of the answers. But anything else for pros and cons?
I feel energized. I don't burn out easily. It can be other pros of posting like that. I can see a consistent growth graph as well, and I can do what I enjoy doing.
Okay.
And on cons part now,
Mhm.
the risk of diluting my love for life related content and comedy related content in the longer run.
What does this mean when you say like you're risking diluting it? How so?
Like if right now I'm creating let's say 10 tech reels, and 1 or 2 times occasionally I do life related content, and I do comedy content. What if in the longer run it doesn't work? Well, like right now the growth I'm seeing for these kind of content is not that much, and what I discover is that in the longer run I expected it to be much of an integrated brand, but it is only a tech channel somehow. I think it is making sense to you.
Okay. Risk of
Yeah,
basically being seen as someone I don't want to be seen
want
as.
to be seen exactly.
Okay. Anything else?
Anything you can think of with this route?
Hold on.
Put it in me in kind of a rapid fire for this one. So when you say something on that part, like it puts me in a jeopardy because I have to pressurize myself to think of it. but nothing comes to my mind as of now. If something pops up, I'll say it right out. You can try some cons till then.
I'm just gonna leave it here because I'm
Yeah,
gonna go to the next option. I also want to. I gotta be mindful. I gotta get back to work in here shortly, but I want to leave you with a good exercise here. So we have
sure.
option 1, we have option 2, option 3, and then the fourth one. This is the last one, and then we'll look at the patterns because I think that'll be more helpful than any advice that I could give. All right, option 4. So you could first off, you could post on 2 different pages, one for tech, one for life. You could post all of these themes on one page. So that's where you basically do like 33, 33, 33. I'll put this in quotes. So like 33% of the page is about tech, 33% is about this, 33% is about that. Okay. So this is like
Yeah,
equally splitting each category. 2 different, or I guess, sorry, this should be 3 different pages, one for life, one for comedy, I guess. So you could
yeah,
3 different pages, split all of them on one page, post mostly of the same theme, and then just like a couple interests occasionally. Or option 4 is to post about the same theme, but tie your interests to the theme. This is the one that I currently chose, but this is, I mean, I'm not going to give you the answers. This is one that I did. Tie your
mhm,
interest to the theme. And when I say theme, you can replace that with niche. I just don't like that word's just thrown around so much that I don't want to confuse anyone. Like, you understand, post about the same, okay, whatever. I'll just put niche since people understand.
yeah,
But tie your interest to the niche with your posts. Pros of this, I'll write this one down, and then you write down the cons, and then we'll go through, because I'm not saying that this is the right approach. The reason why I chose this one is because, one, so same from above. Where'd it go? There we go.
yeah,
So same thing here. When people hit follow on my, and this should have said people, on my page, they get more content of the same theme, right? And we have this idea of like binging your content, blah, 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 blah. I also feel more energized, or no, yeah, I feel more energized and authentic when I can share other interests. And I'll just leave it like that, okay? Now let's go through some of the cons of this approach. What are the cons of this approach for you, Monica?
it's like forcing my thinking into fit inside a box somehow. Like every time I have to think of content, I have to think more of around relating it to certain topics or niches rather than letting my creativity out,
Mm-hmm.
letting my originality of thought out.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, it will be containing the explosion within my mind to certain words or certain niches somehow.
Mm-hmm.
So that can be one con. The other one, I think, with this strategy can be mm, in longer run, like it can deviate very easily. Like if somehow you discover after 6 months, 7 months that this is not what you're enjoying, the whole page and everything which you've built around, it becomes very tough to deviate. With other strategies, you always have the option to tell your viewers that, okay, I've done tech, I've done comedy, I've done life, and I enjoy more on talking about life, so I'll be covering more on that. But with this approach, it becomes very tough to deviate because all the time, everything you'll be thinking of is integrating all these things rather
Okay.
than letting the creativity out.
Okay.
The Other thing it can be is that it can confuse the viewer as well, because ultimately they might be looking for a buying suggestion, but now they are getting feed it with different kind of life philosophy in between, and other kind of forced learning aspect which they might not need or might not be watching me for.
Okay.
So these are the four cons I can think of.
Okay. All right. So we have these written down. Chat, hopefully this is a good exercise for you guys too. This is how I thought about with my niche, and I'll be honest with you guys. Like, I didn't I didn't sit here and spend all this time writing a doc. Like, this was just in my head because me thinking of my niche, it was much easier when I thought about like what I just always am, like what I'm obsessed with. Let's go through some of the answers and see if we can pick some patterns here. So, first option, 3 different pages, one for tech, one for life, one blah, blah, blah. You said when people hit follow my tech page, they get more content what they watch, blah, blah, blah. You mentioned one of the things that I wanted to ask you about is you keep mentioning growth. Like, you really like making the tech videos because they do well and I get views and follows and stuff. Why is that important to you? Like, what's the ultimate goal with the page?
Like, I want the world to see me, what I have to offer. For
Okay.
that, I believe is that having a certain base of people, uh, so that the things which are not performing right now somehow,
Mm-hmm.
those kind of things, if I say, at least they reach some people, and I don't have to worry about algorithm and other aspect when I talk about life, when I talk about other things. So I want my page to grow so much, grow to a level, a certain level that uh, whatever I have to say, it reaches some people, a certain amount of people, millions of people, or something like that.
If if we were to figure out a way for your life content to do well, because there are several ways to do that,
Mhm.
how would that change your approach that you're doing now? Like, if you knew, for example,
Mhm.
tomorrow you're either going to post a tech video, a life video, or a comedy video. If you knew that they were going to do the same in terms of engagement, they were all going to do well, how would that change how you decide to make content moving forward?
Oh, I think that will sort everything for me somehow.
I think it will too.
And
I'm like,
yeah,
before I even get into the different options, I'm kind of thinking that as well. What
I,
what would that solve?
I, that will solve this continuous tussle in my mind of prioritizing what I'm thinking of. Like, I feel creative about all these topics, but always in my mind, I have to prioritize the tech one because I know only that can bring me the growth. So if everything comes to an equal level, I can be free and creative in a free player feel, I guess, in that part.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know which answer you're expecting me out of it. Can you be more specific on that?
We'll go through the answers before I give my assumption, but what you just said, I'm getting that vibe from some of the answers. So let's look at this one for example. So for option one, we said 3 different pages: one for tech, one for life, one for comedy. Your pros were that when people hit follow my page, they get more content when they watch. They get more content of what they hit follow for, basically,
Yes.
of what they hit follow for, which can help people binge your content, turn from views to follows to fans to buyers. Do you plan to monetize this brand at some point in the future? Is that like the ultimate goal?
No, kind of not. It has to stop at fan somehow, but
What
I
what
don't
is
know.
what is the ultimate goal with your page? Like, is it to just grow like a large audience, or is it to maybe make a business for yourself?
No, no, it is to grow a large base of audience. It
Okay.
is, yeah,
Okay. Fantastic. No right or wrong question or answers, by the way. Like, I'm not
indeed.
qualified to say anything. Okay. All right. So your ultimate goal is to gain a large audience. Do you have like a number in mind that would hit your satisfaction level?
1 million.
Okay. Ultimate goal is to hit 1 million followers. Okay. All right. Now the cons you said here from doing 3 different pages is that you won't be able to create so many reels for each page, which would help, would burn you out. You kept mentioning about the algorithm and like how if you weren't able to post 1 reel a day, the algorithm could, hurt your page, which does tie into your ultimate goal of hitting 1 million followers. Everything stems from your fear of the algorithm punishing you for doing this so far. All these cons. I won't be able to create so many reels. I right now post 1 reel a day, and I basically won't be able to do that. I won't be able to post 1 reel a day on both pages. Let me delete that. And if I'm not consistent on the page, it can damage the page. So basically the cons of this approach is that you are expecting, if you have 3 different pages, you're expecting the algorithm, or at least you, to be hindered. I'm not saying this is wrong, right, or I'm just repeating back what you've told me.
Yeah.
You're expecting the algorithm to potentially hurt your reach, which would diminish you getting to your ultimate goal of 1 million followers because you're posting on all these different pages. Now, option 2, just post all these themes on 1 page, 33, 33, 33. Your pros were you can maintain consistency. You don't feel like burning out. I don't need to think about time for, different content on different pages, but your followers might get confused. Now, if your ultimate goal is 1 million followers, why is this a problem? There's no by the way, this is not a trick question. I'm just asking you if the ultimate goal is to hit 1 million followers, right? Like I can hit 1 million followers. I mean, a lot of them might unfollow me, but I can hit 1 million followers if I start talking about different topics as well. So what is the issue with these followers getting confused? Because then you won't, is it because you might go from 1 million to maybe 900,000?
No. It's not that. The thing is, hitting 1 million follower is not a tough task, I guess.
Okay.
The tougher task here is to be a brand at 1 million follower. That is what I'm trying to chase more of. I want to hit 1 million follower, but I want to be known for something at that point of time. That by my name, people can recognize, oh, this is the person that can do this thing. Oh, he creates this kind of niche and he talks about this thing. I want to be known for that kind of thing at that point of time. So followers getting confused can be a hindrance in that overall goal in the longer run, I guess. That's why it stemmed from.
What would you like to be known for?
For my views on the world, for how I see the world, my perspective on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what you didn't mention here, which I thought well, actually it makes sense. What you didn't mention here when I asked that question, you didn't say anything about tech at all. You didn't say anything really about comedy either. This seems to be more like just about life, philosophy and stuff. You want to be known for you. Okay.
Indeed.
All right, understood. So the cons of posting all these different themes on your pages would be that followers get confused. This might not help you hit your goal of being known for something.
Indeed.
Because people are confused. Okay, understood. All right. Now, option 3, you said if you post mostly the same theme but different interests occasionally, you risk being seen as someone I don't want to be seen. This was the moment when you said this that I was like, okay, I understand now what's happening. I mean, I kind of had like a feeling, but this was like the most clear-cut answer that when you said this, you were implying tech, which like before all else, before I give you a direction or an experiment to try, it seems like going down the route of posting more tech stuff is going to lead to destruction for you. Like if you continue to post more stuff about tech, it will continue to do well, which will help you with your ultimate goal of gaining followers, but it won't help you with your ultimate goal of being known for your views of the world, right? So it'll help you with like maybe goal 1, but it won't help you with goal 2 or I guess, yeah, let's just say goal 2, right? And so if that's the case, we need to find something, a strategy or a category that can help us achieve both our goals at the same time. So my first suggestion is like, even though the views are nice, the followers are nice, the brand deals are nice, you continuing to talk about tech is going to, at least from what you're describing to me, is not going to end well long term for you. And so my biggest experiment so far, just by looking at these options, would be to try spending, instead of how much, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
These are not all the tech content, by the way.
So basically, like, but what I'm saying is, like, in the past 30 videos, you probably have like almost 20 or more that are about tech. Is there?
No. I think they're lesser than that.
1,
It's
2,
around.
3, 4, 5,
Stop
6.
again, like I'll count because I know those better. You
Okay.
might not be getting. Yeah, first one is the tech. Second, third, fourth. Gotcha. This is not the one. Fifth, sixth, 7, 8. Okay, 9, 10. Okay, I've got only 10 till now. 11th. Yep.
Okay.
12th. Yeah, I've got some around 12 to 13 videos in that part.
Okay. My first experiment would be, how can we make more content like this? So instead of the next 12 to 13 videos being about tech, like how can we make 12 to 13 videos more about philosophy based on what you did well? That'd be my first experiment. Like, let's just, instead of thinking about the long-term goal of the page, how can we take that, because this is how I view my page as well. How can we turn what's currently happening on your page into a short-term experiment? And so let me go through the last options here, and then I'll give you my suggestion for you to try. So you said you're going to be risk being seen as someone you don't want to see, which is a clear indication that we should stop doing tech. And then option 4, post about the same niche, but tie your interest to the niche. You didn't like the idea of like forcing my thinking into a box. I want to be more creative. It becomes tough to deviate. It can confuse the viewer. Okay. So everything that I've heard you say, I'm constantly coming back to this idea of tech. And so my experiment for you would be, let me erase this stuff. Let's stop here and here. My experiment for you to try would be post 15 to 20 videos about life, because like the fastest way for you to not be known for tech, which is what we're trying to avoid, is for you to stop posting about tech. For example, I went through this problem for myself in May. I made a video that blew up about yapping.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Right?
That is the one I discovered you from.
Right. A lot of people discovered me from yapping.
Yeah.
And the smartest thing that I could have done engagement-wise is to just keep making videos about yapping. But I did not want to be known for the yapping guy. I don't have all the answers, and I also don't like yapping that much to talk about it 24/7. So I started moving away from that topic, and over time, as I started to talk more about how I'm not an expert and talk about different things, people follow me not from the yapping video, but from these videos up here, the videos down here. And so like what's interesting is that my audience from, let's say, 900 to 5,000 came to me for yapping, but now my audience from 5,000 to 8,000 are coming to me from different posts as well. And so my first 5,000, right? First 5,000 know me as the yap guy. The next 5,000 know me as the student. Which do I want to be known for more? Do I want to be known for the yap guy or the student? Right now, I want to be known for the student. Same thing long term. I want to be the guy who's trying to master content. So the quickest way to become what you want to be known for is to stop posting. So stop posting about the topic that gets you views, but helps you be known for what you don't want to be known for. I know that was kind of wordy, which is basically tech. Stop posting about tech for a short period of time here. Okay. Obviously, there's going to come a time where you're like, I want to post more about tech news and stuff. We'll get to that in a second. But stop posting about this topic as much. So the quickest thing that I would do to fix all this is to not just like stop the page, but it would be to ease the gas. So this is now going to be my prescription to you. Sorry, I don't know why I can't find your page now.
KHURAN. I think I won't be in your that search. MANIK KHURANA. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Quickest way to stop being known for something is to ease off the gas here a little bit, right?
Yep.
And so ease off the gas of making tech. Start making more videos around stuff that you actually like really enjoy. For example, this I think would get you closer to your vision of being known for your views around the world than tech,
Yep.
right? And this video actually is doing really well.
Not,
3,700.
not this one. The other one you can see in the left, the PUBG one. Have you ever played this game? I shared my experience of this game, which I was addicted to, and it blew up somehow. It's a live content.
Yeah.
It
So
is.
I should rephrase. I get that people, when I say doing really well, I guess people consider like videos doing well to just be videos that go viral. To me, I would much rather have a video like this that's at 4,000 views. That's almost half your followers. That is actually half your followers than this video that's viral. You know, like to me, this is way better of a video than this, because I don't think this attracted who you wanted it to attract. I could be wrong on that, but I don't think the people in here.
Even if you share this partner, particularly like my earlier following, which used to come, was from the tech content. Like I and you have grown up at the same point of time somehow. From early 300 to 5,000 followers were from the tech reels. The 5,000 to 7,500 jump has been more of from the live content. So this PUBG reel has been more of from the live content. I got a good amount of followers from this one, which got viral. And the other one above it is another live comedy reel, which I shared. It got viral. It is below it. I have rearranged the grid. It is a new feature actually. I've been experimenting with that. You have to go a little bit more down. So this is a reel. Start swimming now. This also got viral. I spoke about how swimming is so good, and this also brought me some good amount of followers.
So there you go. This is the stuff. And the question is, from these videos that have done well, which have brought you, out of the videos that you've posted, which have brought you the right audience for you? It seems like this one, like the people that followed from this one, like more of your life stuff, right?
Indeed.
Does this align with more of who you want to be known for in the future? This video here?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. So my experiment for you would be experiment 3. Post 15 to 20 videos about, life. You know what that means here. Experiment 4 would be, I'll just put it right there actually. Double down on your outliers from different niches. So double down on your videos that have done well that are not in the tech space. So double down on the videos that are about swimming or whatever, about life, other topics that you resonate with more. Those will probably bring you more of the audience that you want to attract. Yeah. And the more people that you can attract that fit the topic you like, the closer of a chance or the better of a chance you'll have to be known for something that you want to be known for long term. So all of this kind of just comes back to this whole long live that we had today, comes back to a discussion of like ease off the gas with tech would be my experiment. I would encourage you. I know it's hard because of like the viewer or the engagement. It was very hard for me for a while when like I knew, for example, even now, like I know if I post a video about yapping, it's going to do extremely well
Indeed.
over other topics, but it's just not something that aligns with me long term. And so for you, same thing. Like, try to think intentionally. So experiment 5. I'll leave you at this, and then we'll go.
I think numbering is wrong here. This is 1, 2, and third experiment we're cutting on.
We have experiment 1. I know I gave you a lot here.
Okay, no.
Experiment 3. I gave you a lot of experiments here. So doesn't matter about the numbers at this point. But
Yeah.
we have 3, so this is gonna be whatever 5, 6, and then this is gonna be 7. The last one that I give you here is before posting your next reel, ask yourself, because this is what I ask myself before every post: does this help me get closer to who I want to be known for? For example, I want to be known for the guy who is not an expert, the guy that's just figuring stuff out live. And so every reel that I've posted since I've had this experiment, I've tried to include intentionally this idea of me not being an expert, me figuring it out, me documenting my journey. The video that I am about to post today actually is just about that. Me documenting. It's not gonna, like the video that I post today, it's at 1,500 views. It's not something that's going to do particularly well in terms of viewership. But what it will do long term is that when people come to my page and they watch all my videos and I keep relaying the same idea over and over, it will help infuse this idea of who I want to become. And so same thing with you. Like if people start coming to your page and they start to see more of your life videos, that will probably give you more of a chance of being known for someone about your views of the world versus you making videos about tech. If you keep making videos about tech, you will absolutely, like if there's one thing I could probably guarantee for you, is that if you keep making videos about tech, you will quickly raise your follower count and you will get extremely close to your goal of being known for someone who you don't want to be. Like I would probably, given your engagement, I'd probably be willing to wager that by the end of the year, you'd probably be at over like 20,000, 25,000, maybe even 50,000 followers, and they will all know you for tech. And if that's not who you want to be known for long term, then we should take it now as a sign to stop and start posting about stuff that we want to be known for long term, even if it's going to hit your engagement a little bit. So
Indeed. One thing I want to ask you, Sean, like how has been creating reels for you? Like when you create reels, does it take a lot of effort from your end, or like you enjoy doing the process? Because for me, if sorry, I'm interrupting you in
no,
up
that's
there.
okay.
Yeah, because for me particularly, I've been a person who has procrastinated a lot onto the things for a major part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And in the past 3 months, I've encouraged myself to be out there in the world, whatever I've got. When you gave me the last exercise of asking myself the question that does it bring me closer to the real, like my goal or something, there is always a risk of losing my consistency which comes up with me, because I am a person which thinks these kind of things very deeply somehow. And if I'll start weighing my content on that graph, I may quickly de-escalate to the point where I'll be overthinking so much before posting a reel that it will ultimately hit the overall goal somehow. So how it's been for you? Can you explain me more on that part?
I do not try to measure my, all right, and it's harder said than done. It took me 5 accounts for me to get to this point. I realized at the beginning of this year the previous problem that I had with all my other accounts, especially the comedy one in particular. The comedy one was my first account. I was known for this idea of skits and stuff, and I was very driven by engagement and like the views, the comments, the shares and stuff was my lifeline. And so whenever a video did really well, I was super happy. When a video didn't do well, I was super sad. And so this page, that's why I'm like, the whole theme of my page is experiments, because I'm treating my page as an experiment. Let's just see what happens. That's that is my core mantra in my head, because I know that if I value myself, my motivation, my thought processes around the engagement of my videos, it's just a sinking ship from there. It's only a matter of time before I lose motivation because my videos aren't getting views. I'm just going to give up and stop doing it.
Indeed.
So I treat everything as an experiment. I just say, you know what? I don't care about the views. I don't care about these vanity metrics of follows and shares and stuff. Sure, I'm going to try to script my videos out. Like I'm going to make experiments to try to increase my engagement so that I can share it with people. But like a video that I'm posting today, like I said, it's at 1,200 views. I feel like it's a great video. I'm super cool with it. It's not hurting me at all. You know, sure,
Uh,
it's not.
I think I think that's the mindset I got attracted to somehow, because even I know the biggest names because we follow most of the creators at US level as well. Because you guys, like, it's a US company, Instagram, and you guys have been on it before a lot, quite a time before us. And I've been following a lot of people there, but those all people, they were all trying to show the way that how you have to be more doing this and that kind of an activity to get certain kind of reels to go succeed and to let them perform. But with you, with watching your videos, the thing which I got to learn was that you explained everything in an experimentation way, that if there was a recent reel which you covered of posting something on a trial reel, and everyone earlier they were talking about how you have to create 7 or 8 different versions of your content and post it on trial reel. That was such an havoc for me, because I, as a creative person, doesn't want to entangle myself into this game of making every reel viral or let it get views. But after watching your content, one thing which I was very clear is that I was getting the latest news which was being covered, and your experiment showed me the proof that if I'll follow this thing, it will definitely work somehow.
And
So
sorry to cut you off, but before you
yeah,
continue, I just so I can maybe reframe the belief a little bit.
yeah,
You're mentioning to me about my content experiments, which are
yeah,
my least performing or my lowest performing videos on my page. So
yeah,
let that just, you were telling me something that I want to be known for, and those videos that you're sharing with me, they get like 1,000, 2,000 views. I had one video that got like 30,000 views with the content experiments, but
yeah,
because I'm hearing these stories from you guys in the chat and people DMing me saying like I think those content experiments are super dope, I'm like
yeah,
super jazzed about it. Like I said, the video that I'm going to post today is another experiment. It's
yeah.
going to get like 1,500 views, dude. Like it's not going to do a whole lot, and I am stoked about the video because it is helping me get closer to my goal long term of what I want to be known for. So, um, it's very hard to tell you not to care about views as much and going viral and stuff. And I know
Indeed.
like a lot of my videos, I'm doing experiments to help you get more views, but
Hmm.
the the way to the fail-proof method in order to get to your goal is to not stop. And the way to not stop is to not care about these things that are out of our control. I mean, there are a lot of things that we can't control, of course, but like, the view counts. That's worrying about the views for your next video is not going to help you get closer to your goal. It's only going to hurt you because you're going to be less confident to post it. So you might not post it at all. So
Indeed.
it's a very hard, again, dude, this took me 6 years for me to reframe my mind, because there was a lot of, for me, and maybe the chat can find value in this, there's a lot of deep rooted insecurity in my life that when I had validation from people online, it
Hmm.
filled that insecurity for me for a while, where I felt like growing up in my life, I was never good enough. And then when I saw that videos got a ton of views and people commented and blah, 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 it was this quick dopamine hit where I said, oh, wait, maybe people that I don't know, these people are viewing me differently than people I do know. Maybe I am of value. And so I bring up that emotional story to say, like, I know it's so hard to tell you not to care about views because it's such an emotional thing, but it is as soon as you're able to start posting with the mindset of like, let's just see what happens, let's try it as an experiment and move away from caring about views, that is when you'll be able to sustainably post content for years to come and get closer to the goal that you want to. So I'll leave you with that.
Sure. Thank you so much, Sean, for your time, particularly. And it was really nice talking to you. And if you would like to visit India sometime, you've got
Of
a
course,
home
man.
here too, now, buddy.
Appreciate it. Thank
Do
you.
visit me.
I
I don't
appreciate
know
it.
if you can relate to my content, but stay in touch, man. It's really nice, and I think that the things you're doing, the way you're going up, you'll definitely achieve something. And I'm very sure of it. I don't want to buff you up on that, but that's how what I see and I believe in. And I wish you all the best, buddy. And if you
I
wish
appreciate it.
to visit here sometime, you've got a home here too. Do
Thank you.
visit me sometime.
And your confidence in me, I want to give back to you, man. Give
Yeah,
yourself that sense of sureness for your page as well.
yeah,
You will. I mean, you said that you and I started at the same follower count, and look at where we're both at. We're both neck and neck. So
yeah.
you're making as much progress as I'm making, and you will continue to make more progress if you don't stop. So don't stop. Figure out what
Right.
you want to be known for. Make content around that, even if it gets less views in the short term. You can hop on these lives as many times as you want, and I can show you how to get these videos, the life videos, to get more views, the things that I know subconsciously we do care about. I'd be happy to have you on the next live stream here next week or whatever, and we can figure out how to optimize those live videos. But make sure to just don't stop posting, and you'll get there too.
Definitely.
Cool.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you so much.
All right, Manik, you have a great day. Chat, I think we're done here. I know it was a longer session. I thank you, Ada, for following. I originally was setting the goal with this live to be 30 minutes, but Manik, you asked such a good question about the niche. I know everyone wants to know about that, so we had to go through a crazy exercise. So hopefully you found value from it, and then this will be on my YouTube for a replay if you want to watch any other part of it.
One thing I want to ask that have you seen anyone as confused as me before?
Dude, I get that message or that question probably like 10 times a day at this point about
Yeah.
picking a niche. It's the most common question. And
Yeah.
there's not even though people, especially like people in my space, they will try to
Mhm.
tell you guys that there is a right or wrong answer. People will tell you like you need to niche down or you are the niche. I am of the mindset that everything works in different contexts. And in your context, I mean, you guys saw we went 2 hours in depth with Manik about all the different options you have, your current situation. And so look through that document. And again, the best exercise I could give you is to remove the things that you don't want to be known for as quickly as possible. And that'll probably give you more clarity. So,
Yeah.
cool. All right, dude.
Yeah.
Have a good one.
Buddy, have a nice day ahead.
Of
Thank you
course.
so much.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Chat, hopefully that was helpful. I don't know. Let me know before I really got to get back to work here. I don't want to get fired just yet, chat. So let me know if it was helpful. Can you guys just give me some sort of feedback in the chat if we should do more of these types of breakdowns regarding niching down. I don't plan to have all the answers here, and I don't think I'll ever have the definitive answer for everyone. But if you guys want to continue going through these types of exercises with different people, I'm happy to. So let me know if you guys found some value in that. Thank you, Ada. I appreciate it. I really have to get back to my job now before I get fired. Any other questions that you guys have that I can quickly answer, let me know. Let me know. I appreciate you guys for being here. Usually I go live at 3 p.m., but today I went live at 12, and it's already 1:30 my time. So if you guys have any other questions, let me know before I hop off, and I will catch you guys at a regular time tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific time. And shout out Manic too. That was great.